Hi, everyone. I hope you're having a great end of summer. I wanted to let you know we're going to be debuting the Poisoning podcast, where I'll discuss the fentanyl and opioid crisis that's poisoning our fellow Americans. In the meantime, I wanted to share this interview I did this week with Hoppy Kercheval of West Virginia MetroNews. Thanks for watching.
Joining us on Metro News Talk Line is Erin DeLullo. She is a Jefferson County resident and a consultant for Harbor Path. That's a nonprofit that serves the unmet needs of patient populations, and they're very interested in how this opioid settlement money is going to be distributed. And Erin has written a piece raising at least concerns or making observations about how this money should be used, and she joins us via Skype from her home in Jefferson County. Erin, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Hoppy. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for coming on. What are your concerns?
So my concerns are specifically with the locality money right now and how some of these counties and cities are spending it. They're not spending it on education, prevention, and treatment with the opioid crisis. While overdose numbers are on the decline nationally, West Virginia increased last year, and we're not in a great place. And this money needs to go to helping those, one, save lives, and two, improve them.
Okay, and there's two settlement pots. There's the
Right.
money that goes to cities and counties, and then there's money that has gone to the West Virginia First Foundation, which they're still in the process of figuring out ways to distribute it. So do you have examples of where you think that some of this money that's gone to a city or a county that is not going to directly benefit those fighting the opioid epidemic?
Sure. Well, if you look at Mingo County, they spent close, I think it was 99,000 and change on fingerprint scanners and handheld radios. That doesn't teach children that one pill can kill, that doesn't put Narcan in arm's reach of those who could overdose. That's just filling budget gaps.
Mm-hmm. Is that just one example, or do you think that's how it's going to go in some counties and cities?
You see nationwide from Ohio to Louisiana, when localities are given money, they tend to use it to fill budget gaps. Now, I will say, in Charleston, the capital, they put $500,000 into a treatment facility budget. So that's good, but we have to make sure, especially where we are in the state, that so much of this money is going towards the crisis that's been caused, because it's just not opioid addiction now. It's the fentanyl poisoning.
Right.
Fentanyl.
We know well the fentanyl crisis. I mean, you're right. It's not an embellishment to say one pill can kill, because it can in fact do that. I did see though where, like Montague County, you talked about Kanawha County. Montague County has allocated $625,000. It's gone to various services within the county that should be on the front lines of dealing with the opioid crisis. So there are those examples as well, I think, fair to say.
Good. Yes, there are. There's definitely good going on, but at the same time, we have to watch for all these dollars to be spent appropriately.
Based on your work with Harbor Path, the nonprofit that works with some of these challenged communities, how do you think some of this money would be best spent to help deal with this crisis?
Sure. So Harbor Path, which we provide medicines to those in need, we're a nonprofit. We do it at the lowest public interest rate. I want to give you an example.
Okay.
In Kentucky, we worked with 33 counties in eastern Kentucky, so border state to West Virginia, by putting Narcan in the schools. Because remember, fentanyl is killing people under 40. It's the biggest killer, and you're seeing that in high school students, college students. So we put it in 33 counties there, and then the school district asked for more so that they could send Narcan home with students who are at risk. And I did a video. We keep Narcan in our house. There should be no stigma around Narcan. We keep it on our refrigerator. You want to know where it is, because you have less than 5 minutes to administer it to someone to save their life.
Do you know look, and I understand the benefits of Narcan. I know first responders have Narcan. You want wider use of Narcan. Is there any evidence to suggest that putting Narcan in the schools in Eastern Kentucky made a difference, or is it just preventive?
We just did it. We just did it last year, so we haven't seen the numbers yet. But I think if you, for instance, in Georgia, there was a high schooler who died in high school in DeKalb County from fentanyl poisoning in May, and any life is too valuable to lose.
Yeah. Are there other measures? Again, you all work specifically with Narcan, and are there other, and you're raising questions about just police radios and fingerprint and things like that.
Sure.
Are there other ways that some of this money could be spent that you think, based on your experience with Harbor Path, it could be beneficial?
Sure. Education programs with the whole population, specifically on youth, since that's where the danger lies. So we've done a PSA with Old Miss athletes in Mississippi to educate, and then we run them on social media targeting the students, educating them on the dangers of these drugs. And I think we can replicate things like that here. It needs to be taught in schools. It is not a problem to discuss one pill can kill and how to save someone.
We've been covering this story a lot. I think if you showed video of Kensington Avenue in Philadelphia and what it looks like there, and frankly, some of the places you see, some of the things you see outside our building in Morgantown, it would be like scared straight. It would terrify people, frankly.
Well, it's like there are definitely areas people think it's an inner city problem, but yet our numbers are increasing.
Yeah.
And so you wouldn't think there's not an inner city here in West Virginia. We have small cities, but we don't have Philadelphia. We don't have Portland, Oregon. This issue is a rural issue as well.
Absolutely. You also have up the holler where there's just the same thing, the same thing. All right.
I was reading about the child care issue that we have in West Virginia that a local reporter or a state reporter in your capital wrote about. And she made the point that big businesses don't want to invest, or companies don't want to invest jobs in West Virginia if there's a child care shortage. I don't think they want to invest in West Virginia if we have an overdose problem with workers. And we need to keep youth here, and we need to keep them healthy.
Yeah, absolutely. Erin DeLullo, Jefferson County resident and a consultant for Harbor Path. That's a nonprofit that works on some of these issues, including the opioid issue. Erin, it's great to speak with you. Thank you very much. Good to talk to you.
Thank you, Hoppy. Have a great day.
You too.